Welcome back. Today we're talking about Bardstown Bourbon Company. Discovery 10, sexy new label, 114.24 proof here on the channel next. How will it stack up? Find out. Welcome back. Like I said, we're talking today about Bardstown Bourbon Company's Discovery 10, 114.24 proof. This one, just like most of the stuff, is really not here available in Michigan yet. I went and talked when I did that video back of the Epic Bourbon Haul from Total Wine. I asked Carl, he had 8s and 9s still on the floor. I said, hey, do you know when you're getting the 10? He goes, man, I don't even know. I haven't even heard of it. I mean, he goes, I've heard of it, but I haven't even heard when we're getting it. And I said, well, it's kind of funny. I actually have one. He goes, how in the heck did you get one? I said, well, I had to go and Unicorn Auctions last month and get it. Because you have a 10? I said, yeah, what'd you pay for it? I said, I think shipped it was like $160. He goes, well, that's pretty much the going rate. There'd be anywhere between $129 and $139. So I was able to get this one, get it here, had a little bit off the taste. Got a 9 sitting over there. These have both been sitting out about 25 minutes. Let's get into the bottle. It is a new blend of 62% Kentucky 9-year, which is 78% corn, 12% rye, and 10% malted barley. 18% Kentucky, 13-year-old, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. A 10-year-old Georgia, 10%, that is 80% corn, 10% rye, 5% wheat, 5% malted barley. An 8% Kentucky 6-year-old, corn is 53%, rye is 26%, malted barley 21%. That is a weird combo right there. And 2% Tennessee, 10-year-old, 10-year-old, 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. So you got a really cornucopia of a bunch of stuff in this tiny little bottle. We got into the bottle. Like I always said, what is that juice like inside? Let's get into this nose of a very unique. This is probably one of the, honestly, real quick, one of the most unique cornucopia of different whiskeys shoved into a bottle. See, you get like a butterscotch roasted peanut note. It's subtle and it's faint. It's there. You get a red berry note. Not as strong as you used to on the Discovery series. You can see here, it's clinging to the glass, but it's really super faint. It's not really, for me, it's not really super coating. It's kind of there. It leaves almost like a lipstick ring around there. It's a light amber in color. And you get it's going to sound weird, like a vanilla, like a lemon citrus, like if you've ever zested a lemon and you got that smell, that citrusy smell, that's what that smells like. Got into the bottle, got into the nose. Let's get into that first taste. Right off the rip, it's spicy. You get a cherries, a little bit of a vanilla, almost like a roasted peanut. It sticks to the roof of your mouth and the mid palate, but it's almost like way back in the day, I can't remember if it was Scope or somebody else used to make a cinnamon mouthwash. That's what that reminds me of. Act. That's what it was an Act cinnamon mouthwash. That's what that reminds me of. You get a little bit of oak, but it's kind of there and gone. It's different. It's like I said, with all Bardstown Discovery series, they're all different, which is what I like. With like we've talked about here, the trifecta, with their own distillate, them still going to this is kind of unique. It's something different. You really don't see a lot of unique blends like this. Got in that first taste? Let's go for a second. Yeah, you almost get a green tea. Excuse me. There's no real char, but it's almost like ever had canned peaches as a kid? I did a video back on that, where you put them in the refrigerator, you chilled them, you open them. Growing up on ADC or welfare as a kid, that was our dessert. But that's what that aftertaste kind of reminds me of, is like a peach. I got the 9 sitting over here because I wanted, I did in a 4-way blind in one of my videos, and I wanted to see how the new 10 stacked up to the 9. I mean, I love it. Surprisingly, the 9 beat out the 6, which was one of my favorites. So like I said, I had these sitting out about 20, 25 minutes each. Let's get into that nose. See, that red fruit just punches through on this one. It's almost like a red berry, strawberry, raspberry note. It's strong, it's pungent, it punches through. Yeah, you really get that oaky vanilla note, but it's really prevalent. This one is a 35% from Georgia, 8-year-old, 31% Kentucky, 12-year-old, 19% Tennessee, 17-year-old, and a 15% Ontario, 12-year-old, and that's 100% corn. That's what I love about them. They're just so unique of a product. I remember I mentioned this place many times, Keg and Wine. They had the Bardstown truck, I think when the 6 or 7 came out, and you got to meet them, talk with them, and sample their stuff, because they really weren't well known. Their Fusion series at $45 was just kind of getting its traction. These other ones, but now with them eating up like Green River and stuff like that and making their own distillate, like I said, I'll say it again, I've said it before, that's my favorite. That one there, the Black Label, that is a great $45 bottle of 6-year-old bourbon whiskey. It's just phenomenal. Let's get into another taste. Yeah. It's a very softer note, probably because of the older whiskey that's in here. You definitely get that aged note. But for me, I mean, this is good, don't get me wrong. With the MSRP creeping up into the 160s, it's kind of getting hard to justify buying this for... I'm not gonna lie, there's Knob Creek 9, Elijah Craig, there's so many other ones that you can buy. Almost 3 of them for the price of this. I mean, this is good, don't get me wrong. If you can find this in the bar for 2 fingers and get it for about 20, 25 bucks, have at it. Have a good taste, see what you think. I would say this is definitely a try before you buy. This one here, the 9, I would say if you can snag this, Total Wine in Novi, Michigan, still had these on the shelves for MSRP. This one I would get again because of that more aged note, that more softer note. This has a more youthful pop note to it, a little more fuzzy on the tongue. Like I said, Act cinnamon mouthwash, which is crazy. I'm your host, Brian. This is the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. And like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey, even blended, is always meant to be enjoyed. Thank you so much. I will talk with you soon.